There is a sound, a vibration, a secret rhythm that the world cannot explain, yet it calls to the hidden treasure within you. Tonight, you will learn to enter that sacred harmony and awaken wealth that has always been yours. The universe sings, and in its song, you shall find your gold. There is a scripture that speaks of treasures, of wealth that is not held in the grasp of men, but in the silent dominion of the Spirit. The silver is mine, and the gold is mine, saith the Lord of hosts. Let us pause for a moment and allow these words to sink beneath the surface of mere reading into the fertile soil of your awareness. Silver, gold, abundance. These are not mere metals, not mere coins or papers of value. They are the symbols of that which is already yours, waiting only for recognition, waiting only for the acknowledgement of the consciousness that owns them. When the Lord speaks of ownership, it is not a distant deity claiming dominion over the world. It is the living presence within you, the I am within, declaring the totality of your inner kingdom. Every atom, every particle, every measure of richness in the world exists first in consciousness, and it is through the acknowledgement of this truth that the unseen becomes manifest. The silver and the gold are not outside, they are impressions of your inner state, reflections of your assumption, mirrors of the reality you entertain in your imagination. Think of this: the treasure of life has never been withheld from you. It is a misperception to suppose that wealth, success, joy, or love are found in distant places, in the hands of the powerful, in some external accumulation. The law of life is such that what you dwell upon, what you enfold in the warmth of your attention, takes form. And yet, most men are asleep to this, wandering in outer circumstances, believing the evidence of the senses to be the ultimate reality. But the scripture calls you to awaken. It says, "The silver is mine, and the gold is mine," as if to remind you that the dominion of creation is not external, but internal. It is your consciousness, your awareness, your imaginative faculty that holds the key to all riches. You are not to beg the world for wealth, nor wrestle with circumstances, nor measure your success against outer appearance. You are to dwell in the knowing, the intimate awareness, that all that you desire is already contained within you, in the frequency, in the vibration, in the state of your own mind. Consider how these words vibrate in the quiet of your consciousness. The silver, the gold. What are they but forms of abundance, forms of fulfillment? And what is fulfillment but the recognition of completion in your own being? The Lord of hosts speaks not of external battles, not of strife, not of accumulation, but of inner sovereignty, of an inner reality that no man, no circumstance can diminish. The frequencies you will hear, the sounds that penetrate your sleep, are but vehicles to awaken this recognition. They stir your inner mind, your subconscious, which is the fertile field in which all outer realities germinate. When you enter sleep, when you allow these sounds to guide you, you are not passively resting. You are actively impressing the truth of your assumption upon the very soil of your being. The silver, the gold, the treasures of life are yours, and the sound is the messenger that awakens the recognition of what has always existed in you. The law is simple and yet infinitely profound. What you assume to be true and dwell in as true must materialize. The outer world is but a reflection of the inner state, a mirror held up to the consciousness that imagines and believes. To say, "The silver is mine and the gold is mine," is to take possession in consciousness, to declare ownership not with words alone, but with the full weight of feeling, of vision, of knowing. The sound, the vibration, the frequency of deep sleep is a key, not because it contains wealth, not because it changes matter, but because it awakens you to the state of having, to the inner reality that your mind has long since created. As you listen, as you feel, as you allow the currents of this vibration to flow through you, let it carry your consciousness into the experience of abundance. Let it lift you above the limitations of outer circumstance, above the evidence of lack, above the whispers of impossibility. The outer world waits, always waiting, to reflect back to you the state that you occupy inwardly. You must understand that consciousness is the origin of all creation. Every mountain, every river, every city, every fortune begins as a thought, as an assumption, as a knowing in the mind. You have within you the same creative power that spoke worlds into being, the same power that molded the stars and set the planets upon their course. The law never changes. What you impress upon your consciousness, what you entertain in feeling, what you accept as true, will inevitably manifest. The sound that penetrates your sleep is a guide, a gentle hand leading you to dwell in the state of already possessing. It is not necessary to struggle, to force, to bargain, or to persuade. The outer world is obedient to the inner state. You are the law unto yourself, the living reality in which all things exist before they appear outside. Now imagine this: as you lie down, the sound begins, and you allow it to carry you inward, past the thoughts of daily concern, past the limitations of doubt, into the rich inner world of imagination. Here, there is no lack, no fear, no uncertainty. Here, the silver glimmers in your hand, the gold rests in your purse, the house of your dreams opens its doors to you. You are not seeing visions of the future, you are remembering realities that already exist in the unseen. The frequency is a conductor, a bridge between the waking mind and the subconscious knows only the language of feeling, of acceptance, of certainty. It knows the state, and it brings the state into form. And this is the law of assumption: to dwell in the state of having, to entertain the reality of your desire, and to persist in that inner knowing until the outer world conforms. It is a gentle, silent process. It does not struggle, it does not hurry. It does not bargain with circumstance. It merely dwells in the state that it seeks to manifest. And the treasures, the silver, the gold, the riches of life must follow. For the world cannot resist consciousness. It yields to what is assumed, to what is imagined and felt as true. The frequencies you hear in deep sleep are a call to remember, a call to return to this knowing, a call to assume the state as fully, as completely, as lovingly as possible. Consider this: every sound you hear, every vibration that touches your mind in that meditative, sleep-laden state is a whisper from your own inner consciousness. It is saying, you are wealthy, you are abundant, you are complete. And if you respond, if you feel it, if you dwell in it, the outer world is compelled to obey. The silver and the gold are not metaphors, they are realities in consciousness. To think otherwise is to deny the power of your own mind. The secret has never been in struggle, in toil, in the hoping or striving of men. The secret has always been in assuming the state, in dwelling there, in allowing the inner frequency to awaken the riches already present. And so you see, the law is simple and perfect. You do not chase after money, you do not beg for opportunity, you do not wait for the world to open its hand. You occupy the state of already having. You live in the treasure. You walk in it in imagination, you feel it in your being, and you allow the sound to confirm, to strengthen, to awaken the subconscious to the reality that all wealth belongs to consciousness. Every outer expression of richness is but a faithful servant reflecting back to you what you have assumed, what you have believed, what you have made real in the unseen. Do not measure your belief by what you see, measure it by what you feel. Feel the richness, feel the weight of the gold, hear the coins, smell the leather of the purse, feel the comfort, the ease, the satisfaction of having what you desire. This is the work, this is the law, this is the truth. As the sound vibrates through your being, let it stir the depths of your mind. Let it awaken that which you have always been. Let it remind you that the treasure is not outside, but within. And when you awaken, you will find that outer circumstances have no choice but to conform, for consciousness rules over all, and the outer world must obey the law of the inner state. Every moment that you dwell in this knowing, every moment that you feel the reality of the silver and the gold Every moment that you allow the sound to carry you into the state of fulfillment, you are participating in the creation of your world. The unseen is ever obedient. It waits only for recognition. It waits only for acceptance. It waits only for the feeling of having. The law has no exceptions. Wealth, abundance, fulfillment, and joy are your natural inheritance. They exist in consciousness, and consciousness is yours to command. The frequency you will hear in sleep is merely a messenger, a gentle, rhythmic affirmation that what you dwell upon in feeling will manifest without delay. Remember always, the silver is yours, the gold is yours, the treasure is yours, because the I am within you claims it. No outer circumstance can deny it, no evidence can contradict it, no man can withhold it. Your awareness, your imaginative faculty, your feeling, your assumption, your dwelling in the state of already possessing. These are the instruments through which the riches of the world are drawn to you. The sound is the key, the scripture is the truth, and the law of consciousness is eternal. Let your mind rest in it, let your heart feel it, let your imagination live it, and let the outer world obey. The law of life is certain. What you assume, you receive. What you dwell upon, you embody. What you feel as true becomes your world. Silver and gold, abundance and wealth, all that you desire, await only your acknowledgement, your recognition, your assumption. And in the stillness of sleep, as the frequency vibrates through your being, you are led gently but irresistibly into the state of already having. The treasures of life are not hidden, they are not distant, they are yours now, because consciousness, your own inner consciousness, holds them, and the sound merely awakens your recognition of what has always been so. Close your eyes and let your imagination awaken fully. See yourself in the precise moment when all that you have desired is now tangible, when the invisible has become visible, when the unseen has assumed form. Picture the weight of gold in your hands, the glint of coins catching the light, the crispness of notes that bear the certainty of abundance. Hear the soft, approving voice, perhaps your own, whispering with complete assurance, "It is yours now." This is not a daydream, nor a wish, nor a hope. This is the rehearsal of reality in the theater of your inner consciousness, and the law requires that what is rehearsed in feeling, in vividness, in total conviction, must manifest in your outer experience. Imagination is the soil, and feeling is the water. You cannot separate the two and expect a harvest, for it is the union of seeing and feeling that draws the invisible into form. When you let yourself be carried into this inner vision, your consciousness becomes the creator, and the world becomes obedient to the state that you occupy. The sound, the subtle vibration that reaches you in the quiet of slumber, serves as the gentle conductor, carrying your mind into this vivid experience. It does not matter that you are asleep. It is in this state that your imagination is unrestrained, that your subconscious receives without question, that the seed of your desire is planted deeply and without delay. Feel the gold as though it were already in your possession. Let your fingertips brush against it. Let your hand close around it and feel its mass, its reality. Hear the faint, reassuring clink, as though the universe itself confirms your ownership. This is the work. This is the meditation that transforms the unseen into the seen. See yourself entering a place that is rich with your fulfillment. Perhaps it is a home you have longed for, perhaps a desk that bears the wealth you imagined, perhaps the smiling faces of those who acknowledge your abundance. Let every detail be exact. Let every color, every sound, every texture be alive in your inner vision. There is no rush. There is no striving. There is only dwelling. And in dwelling, the outer world is compelled to conform. Do not concern yourself with how it will appear. Do not analyze the steps. Do not weigh the means. The inner life is sovereign and the outer life obeys. Your imagination is the blueprint and your feeling is the architect. The frequencies that penetrate your sleep are but reminders, gentle taps on the inner door, guiding your consciousness to recognize what has always been true, what has always existed in the depths of your being. You are already the possessor, the receiver, the one whose desires are fulfilled. You may ask yourself, how is it possible that mere imagination can produce tangible riches? How can seeing and feeling without effort in the outer world bring about coins, notes, property, or security? The answer is simple and immutable. All reality begins in consciousness. There is no exception, no deviation, no delay beyond the perception of time. That which you assume as real, that which you entertain in living detail, must take shape. The outer is always a faithful reflection of the inner state. The gold in your hand is not made from metal, it is made from the inner certainty of your having. The mansion, the coin, the bank balance, the opportunity, the employment, the fortune. These are the reflections of the inner world, the materialized acknowledgement of the state you occupy while dwelling in your imagination. The sound, the frequency that caresses your mind in the quiet of sleep, is not the magic. It is the invitation, the instrument, the gentle hand guiding you to the recognition of your sovereignty, reminding you that you are the maker and that the world outside must obey. As you continue, allow yourself to feel the pleasure, the satisfaction, the completion of having already received. The joy is not in waiting, not in hoping, not in longing. The joy is in recognition. Let your heart swell with the certainty. Let your mind rest in it without effort. Let your entire being resonate with it as the sound vibrates through your consciousness. You do not ask for it. You do not plead for it. You do not bargain for it. You claim it because the law is always obedient to what you assume as true. There is a rhythm in this, a cadence, a vibration of the soul that aligns perfectly with the frequencies you hear, as though the universe itself were breathing with you, as though every beat, every note, every pulse of sound carried with it the confirmation of your ownership. This is the principle of manifestation: to feel, to see, to know, to dwell, and the outer world must yield. And so the state precedes the fact. A man once walked nightly in imagination through the halls of a house he desired. He sat in the chairs, he opened the drawers, he ran his hands along the surfaces, he smelled the fragrance of the rooms. He did this faithfully, with vividness, with full feeling, until one day, a house was offered to him, a house exactly as he had envisioned it, with every detail matching the vision he had rehearsed. He had not searched for it, he had not bargained for it, he had not struggled to create it in the outer world. He had merely assumed the state. He had dwelt in the end, and the world, which cannot resist consciousness, yielded. This is the law in action. The outer must obey the inner, and what you see in your imagination is the seed of what will appear in your life. Every coin, every note, every measure of wealth, every opportunity, every gift of fortune waits only for your recognition. The sound that penetrates your sleep is a gentle reminder, a vibration that carries your mind to the inner place where assumption and possession are one. In that place, there is no doubt, no waiting, no struggle. There is only having, only fullness, only satisfaction. The subconscious mind, which governs all outer occurrences, receives these impressions without question. It does not argue, it does not resist, it does not debate. It accepts the state you occupy and molds the outer world accordingly. This is why the frequencies are powerful. This is why they awaken a knowing that your conscious mind may not yet fully comprehend. They are a bridge to the inner reality where the treasures lie, where the silver and the gold are already yours, where the law functions perfectly and without interruption. Do not mistake imagination for fantasy. It is not idle daydreaming. It is the rehearsal of reality, the practice of truth, the dwelling in the state of having. As you feel the gold in your hands, as you hear the satisfying sound of its presence, as you see the house, the opportunity, the fulfillment of your desire, you are not creating in the future. You are recognizing a present reality, an eternal reality, a reality that exists in consciousness and is waiting only for you to acknowledge it. This is the sacred work. This is the art that the universe has placed within your hands. The sound is your instrument, your imagination is the workshop, your feeling is the hammer and chisel, and the outer world is the obedient manifestation of your inner state. Persist in this dwelling. Allow no doubt to enter. Allow no questioning of methods or means. Let your mind and heart and imagination merge into one seamless field of certainty. Let the sound carry you deeper into this recognition. Feel it vibrate through your body, through your mind, through the very core of your being. Let it awaken a certainty that the silver and the gold, the treasures of life, the abundance you seek, are yours, and that the world outside must reflect the state you now occupy. As you continue to feel, to see, to know, you move beyond the boundaries of time and space, beyond waiting, beyond struggle. You occupy the inner state, and the outer world, without exception, conforms to the reality you assume. This is the essence of the inner law. The outer is never the master, it is the servant. What you entertain in your imagination, what you feel with conviction, what you dwell in with persistence, must appear. You are not asking, you are not striving, you are not attempting to force reality. You are merely acknowledging, claiming dwelling, feeling, and knowing. The frequencies in sleep, the gentle vibrations, the sounds that penetrate your inner mind are the reminders, the conduits, the guides that lead you into the state of having. When you master this inner vision, when you allow it to live and breathe and feel as though already real, the outer world becomes the obedient mirror, and the treasures, the silver, the gold, the abundance, the riches appear as naturally as day follows night, as inevitably as the tide rises, as surely as thought produces experience. Now allow yourself to rest in this vision, to feel it as though tangible, to move in it as though walking through reality itself. The outer world may seem unchanged, the evidence may seem contrary, yet it matters not. You occupy the state, and the state creates. The treasure is already yours. The silver and gold exist in consciousness. The frequencies you hear awaken this recognition, strengthen this certainty, and impress upon the subconscious the unalterable law that what you assume as true must become true. Let this dwelling continue, uninterrupted, unbroken, unwavering, and the outer manifestation will follow, for the law never fails, and your imagination, guided by feeling, is the instrument of creation through which all abundance flows. Faith is not a fragile hope that trembles at the sight of lack. It is the quiet, unwavering recognition that what you desire already exists, that the unseen reality has no need to plead, no need to persuade, no need to strive. When you cultivate this faith, you are not merely thinking about your desire, you are living it. You are moving in the inner world as one who has already received, as one whose cup is full, whose hands are heavy with abundance, whose heart is satisfied beyond measure. The outer evidence may seem slow, may seem contrary, but it is powerless against the inner state. You must understand that the world you see is a reflection of the consciousness you occupy. To fix your attention upon outer circumstances is to invite delay, to acknowledge lack, to entertain resistance. But to dwell in the assumption, to feel the fulfillment, to live in the inner reality is to command the unseen. This is faith, not as a wish, but as an unshakable knowing. As you lie down to sleep, let your mind be filled with this certainty. Let the sound guide you inward, past the trivial concerns of the day, past the doubts and the hesitations that cling to the mind. Let it draw you into a space where only your inner vision matters, where only the feeling of possession reigns, where only the reality of having is acknowledged. Feel the weight of coins in your hands, the texture of notes, the security and satisfaction that accompany them. Hear the gentle applause of the universe, the subtle affirmation that what you assume as true is already active, already effective, already molding itself into your outer experience. Your faith is the bridge, your feeling is the messenger, your assumption is the law. When you persist in this state, ignoring the evidence of the senses, you become the magnet to which all riches are drawn. The act of faith is not to imagine what may be, it is to recognize what already is. You are not asking for it, you are not begging, you are not waiting for the world to deliver. You are claiming, acknowledging, dwelling. There is a subtle rhythm here, a pulse that moves from your heart through your mind into the world. This pulse is unbreakable, irresistible, eternal. As you allow yourself to live in the inner reality of your desire, every sound, every vibration, every frequency that touches your sleeping mind reinforces it. Your subconscious receives the command without question, and it begins to align circumstances, opportunities, and events to mirror the reality you occupy within. Even while the world seems unaware, even while conditions appear contrary, the law is functioning perfectly, silently, inexorably, to bring the inner state into outer manifestation. Consider the power of persistence. To hold fast to the inner feeling of having is to release all fear, all doubt, all questioning. The outer world is the mirror, and the mirror cannot resist the state of your consciousness. Each night, as the vibration carries you into sleep, as the sound penetrates the layers of your mind, you are impressing upon your subconscious the absolute certainty of possession. You are teaching it the language it knows best, feeling, assumption, dwelling in the end. The outer world responds faithfully, even if you do not yet perceive it. You may awaken and see no immediate change, but the work has been done. The law never fails. The state you occupy within is the cause, and the world you observe is the effect. There is no exception, no delay beyond the perception of time, no obstacle beyond what you imagine and accept. Faith is strengthened by repetition, by vividness, by feeling. Let your inner vision be precise. Let the sound guide you to every detail. See the coins, hear their clink, feel their texture. Imagine yourself sitting at a table of abundance, at ease, content, fulfilled. Let every sense be engaged in this rehearsal of reality. The subconscious, which governs all outward expression, cannot distinguish between the imagined and the actual when it is impressed with the vividness of belief and the fullness of feeling. It acts upon what it receives, bringing circumstances, people, events, and opportunities into alignment with the inner state. This is the act of faith. This is the power that lies within you, waiting to be acknowledged, waiting to be assumed, waiting to be lived. As the sound vibrates through your mind, let it awaken the latent power of assumption. Let it remind you that the outer world is merely obedient, that reality is fashioned by consciousness, that nothing occurs outside until it has been assumed within. Let it draw you deeper into the knowing that wealth, abundance, satisfaction, and fulfillment exist already, that they are not delayed, that they are not dependent upon effort or circumstance. The act of faith is simply to dwell in this inner state, to live there, to feel it, to allow it to saturate every thought, every breath, every beat of your heart. When you do, you are not imagining, you are remembering. You are not hoping, you are claiming. You are not seeking, you are receiving. The mystical principle unfolds further as you allow the frequency, the sound, to guide your awareness into a meditative, rhythmic state. In this state, the conscious mind recedes, and the subconscious mind, the fertile soil of reality, becomes fully receptive. Every vibration, every note, every resonance speaks directly to the part of you that knows, the part that has never doubted, the part that has always been the owner of all treasures. It awakens a certainty that is beyond reasoning, a recognition that is beyond doubt, a knowing that transcends time. As you surrender to this rhythm, as you allow your consciousness to dwell in the reality of having, the outer world becomes inevitable in its reflection of your inner state. The treasures you imagine, the abundance you feel, cannot be denied. The universe bends to your assumption. The world serves your consciousness. This is the path of manifestation, to live inwardly as though the wish is already fulfilled, to allow no hesitation, no questioning, no outer evidence to disturb the inner knowing. It is a practice of refinement, of precision, of surrender to the inner reality. The act of faith is not visible to others. It is a silent, powerful operation within. It is performed in the quiet of the night, in the stillness of sleep, in the vivid rehearsal of imagination. It is strengthened by the sound, by the vibration, by the inner awareness that all has been done. As you persist, as you continue, as you dwell, the outer world, in perfect obedience, aligns itself with the inner state. The mystical closing is not a command, nor a plea, nor a wish. It is a rhythm, a cadence, a certainty that saturates your entire being. As you lie in stillness, as the sound carries you inward, feel yourself already possessing all that you desire. Let the coins rest in your palm. Let the gold shimmer at your fingertips. Let the house, the opportunity, the fortune, the joy flow around you as naturally as the air you breathe. There is no need to hurry, no need to plan, no need to struggle. The outer world is simply mirroring what you occupy within. Every vibration of the sound, every pulse, every note awakens the inner knowing, strengthens the certainty, and impresses upon your subconscious that all is done, all is accomplished, all is yours. Feel the totality of this truth. Let it saturate your consciousness. Let the frequencies penetrate every fiber of your being. You are not imagining, you are living. You are not hoping, you are receiving. You are not waiting, you are acknowledging, claiming, and dwelling in the fullness of possession. The act of faith and the mystical closure merge into one continuous stream of knowing. The law is perfect. The unseen is obedient. The outer world must conform. The sound is your guide, your instrument, your reminder. Let it carry you through the night into the realm of fulfillment and awaken with the certainty that the treasures, the silver, the gold, the abundance you have assumed are now reflected in every aspect of your life, obedient to the state you occupy within. See yourself now at the end of your desire, not at the beginning, not in the striving, not in the hope or anticipation, but at the completion, at the fulfillment, at the state of having already received. Let your mind dwell fully upon this moment, the inner theater where all is accomplished, where the desire you cherish has taken form in consciousness and therefore must manifest in your outer world. Do not concern yourself with the journey, the struggle, the evidence of the senses, for these are but illusions, reflections of a reality that does not yet command your attention. Fix your heart and mind upon the end, and let every sense engage in the richness of it. See the gold, feel its weight, hear the subtle clink, smell the freshness of what you have claimed, taste the satisfaction of completion. Let the warmth of ease and abundance flow through you. Here, there is no lack, no worry, no impatience, only the profound and unshakable knowing that the treasure exists, that it is already yours, that the law of consciousness is perfect and unwavering in its obedience to your assumption. The sound that penetrates your sleep is your guide, a gentle yet unerring conductor leading your mind to the state where all is already accomplished, where your inner vision is reality, and reality outside must obey. As you dwell in the end, let the imagination take full reign. Picture yourself walking through the rooms of your dwelling, the spaces filled with what you have assumed to be true. Let your hands brush against the surfaces that belong to you. Let your feet feel the floors, hear the subtle echoes of your presence in a world now shaped by your inner state. It is here, in this vividness, that the law operates with precision. The outer world cannot resist a consciousness fully occupied in its inner reality. Each sensation, each imagined detail impresses the subconscious, which is the fertile field from which all manifestations spring. The frequencies, the sound waves that penetrate your sleeping mind, are instruments of awakening, stirring the inner awareness to the fact that you are already in possession. They are not the cause, for the cause lies in your assumption, in the dwelling in the end, in the vivid, unwavering feeling of having already received. Let the sound lead you deeper. Let it synchronize with your breath, with your heartbeat, with the rhythm of your imagination, until you are submerged in the state of fulfillment so completely that doubt cannot touch you, hesitation cannot enter, and the outer world is powerless to resist. Feel the harmony of the inner state. Know that the law never fails. The outer is compelled to conform to the inner, for the world is obedient to consciousness. When you occupy the end, you occupy power. When you dwell in the state of already having, you draw the unseen into form. Let the silver, the gold, the riches of life, the treasures you desire, flow through your inner awareness as naturally as air, as inevitably as day follows night. Do not question the method. Do not tally the steps. Do not concern yourself with timing. All that matters is the state you occupy now, the inner reality that your imagination enlivens, the feeling of possession that saturates your being. Allow the sound to resonate with this state, to amplify it, to carry you ever deeper into the knowing that the end is yours, that the unseen is obedient, that the outer must reflect the inner, and that nothing can oppose the certainty of a consciousness dwelling in fulfillment. Now allow your awareness to move even deeper, past the surface of thought, past the trivialities that have occupied your mind. Go into the place where the subconscious reigns, the fertile field where all outer realities are sound. This is the realm of receptivity, the soil that is always ready to bring form to what is impressed upon it. The frequencies, the vibration, the sound that reaches you now is a vehicle, a gentle but potent call to align your conscious dwelling with this receptive mind. Feel it stir you, awaken you, draw you into the inner place where all treasures lie, where the law functions perfectly, where every desire has already been accomplished in the unseen. Let your imagination saturate this realm with the full reality of having, seeing, feeling, knowing. Every image, every sensation, every vibration of your inner state is a command that the outer world cannot resist, and it moves inexorably toward reflection. The subconscious is without judgment, without delay, without hesitation. It knows only the state you occupy, the feeling you impart, the certainty you embrace. It is the faithful servant of consciousness. When you dwell in the end, when you inhabit the reality of having, it acts upon the impressions with precision. The frequencies guide you there, synchronizing your awareness, quieting resistance, dissolving doubt, and allowing the subconscious to receive the message of possession in pure form. It does not question, it does not ponder, it does not debate, it obeys. And as it obeys, the outer world is shaped in perfect correspondence with your inner assumption. You may see delay, you may sense contradiction, but these are illusions, reflections of attention placed elsewhere. Persist in the state, dwell in the end, allow the sound to carry you into completeness, and the world outside must yield. As you feel this, know that you are not creating in the future. You are recognizing a present reality. The end exists now in consciousness, and consciousness governs all. There is no law of delay except the delay you impose through hesitation, doubt, or disbelief. The frequencies, the sound waves, are a gentle reminder, a reinforcement, a tool to deepen your dwelling in the state of possession. Let them carry your mind into the vivid experience of having, seeing, feeling, knowing, and let the outer world conform without resistance. Let the rhythm of the sound synchronize with your heartbeat, with the cadence of your breath, with the pulse of your imagination, until you are fully immersed in the state of already having, until doubt dissolves, until the end is all you know. This dwelling in the end is not idle fantasy. It is deliberate, precise, powerful, and rhythmic. It is the recognition of reality before it appears outside, the assumption of possession before it manifests in matter. As you move in this inner state, you are shaping circumstances, opportunities, events, and outcomes. You are directing the course of life itself with the authority of consciousness. The frequencies of sound that awaken you to this inner reality are instruments of reinforcement, gentle but inexorable, guiding your attention to the fertile place within where assumption and possession merge. You are fully sovereign in this space. You are fully complete. You are fully aware that the end has been achieved. Allow yourself to rest in this knowing. Feel the abundance, the satisfaction, the completeness as though tangible. Imagine walking through your life now, not in lack, not in striving, not in anticipation, but in the fullness of already having. Hear the sounds of your accomplishment, the resonance of your possession, the harmony of your desires realized. Let this inner melody saturate every sense, every fiber of being, every vibration of your consciousness. Let it imprint upon the subconscious with such vividness, such certainty, such depth, that the outer world is compelled to yield. Every opportunity, every treasure, every measure of wealth, every abundance you have imagined cannot help but appear. The frequencies, the vibrations, the sounds that guide you now are but instruments, conduits, reminders that you are sovereign in consciousness, that the law is faithful, that the end exists, and that it is yours. Dwell here. Let the inner state become your reality. Allow no hesitation, no doubt, no resistance. The silver, the gold, the treasures of life, the abundance you have imagined, the opportunities you have desired, are already reflected in your consciousness. As you surrender to the vibration, to the rhythm, to the certainty of your inner assumption, you are drawing the unseen into form, impressing upon the fertile soil of the subconscious the state of having, the state of completion, the state of absolute and unshakable possession. And the outer world, being obedient, must mirror this inner reality, must yield to the inner state, must reflect the abundance that you dwell in, must conform to the reality you occupy, and must serve as a faithful confirmation of the inner truth you now embrace fully, vividly, irresistibly, and eternally. Let your mind dwell upon the profound certainty that your imagination governs the world you perceive. See yourself not in the outer circumstances, not in the seeming limitations of the day, not in the fleeting evidence of the senses, but in the eternal realm of consciousness where all that you desire already exists. Feel the subtle vibrations of the sound as it moves through your mind, a gentle but persistent conductor leading you inward, past the clamor of the outer world, into a sanctuary where assumption and reality are one. Here in this inner sanctuary, the treasures of life lie ready for your recognition. They are not waiting outside. They are not dependent upon effort. They are not contingent upon chance. They exist in consciousness, and the law is perfect. The outer must obey the inner. Let every detail of your desire be vivid, precise, alive in your imagination. Picture the coins, the notes, the wealth, the opportunities, the fulfillment, as if tangible, as if already in your hands. Let the sound guide you. Let it deepen your state. Let it synchronize with the rhythm of your heartbeat and breath until the inner vision saturates every fiber of your being. Do not confuse imagination with fantasy. Imagination is the workshop of reality. Fantasy is idle, disconnected, vague. But imagination, vivid and precise, filled with feeling and certainty, is the cause of manifestation. The frequencies, the vibrations that reach your mind in sleep, serve to awaken the full power of this imagination, to carry you into the state where you see, feel, and know the end of your desire as already accomplished. As you feel the weight of coins in your hands, the texture of notes, the shimmer of gold, the comfort of abundance, you impress upon the subconscious the unalterable truth of possession. It does not question, it does not resist, it obeys. And the outer world, in perfect accordance, must reflect the inner state. You may awaken and see no immediate evidence, yet the law has been set in motion. The seed has been planted. The unseen has been impressed with the reality of having. The frequencies are the gentle reminder, the catalyst, the bridge into the inner realm, where the law functions without delay, without error, without exception. Persistence in this dwelling is essential. To occupy the state of already having is to establish a rhythm, a vibration, a current that the outer world cannot resist. Each night, as the sound penetrates your mind, as your imagination enlivens the reality of your desire, You are reinforcing the certainty, deepening the impression upon the subconscious, strengthening the magnetic pull of the unseen into form. Do not concern yourself with how it appears, with what steps are taken, with what delays seem present. The law functions independently of your understanding, independently of your observation. Your task is to dwell, to feel, to see, to know. Your task is to occupy the end with precision and vividness, letting the frequencies carry you ever deeper into the state of possession, letting every sense, every emotion, every fiber of your being vibrate with the certainty of fulfillment. Consider the parable of the man who assumed the possession of his desire nightly. He walked in imagination through rooms that were not yet his. He touched objects, he felt the textures, he heard the sounds of abundance, he smelled the fragrance of fulfillment, he immersed himself in the reality of having. Day after day, night after night, he persisted in this inner dwelling, despite evidence to the contrary, despite outer appearances of lack. One day, the world conformed. The house he imagined was offered to him. The opportunities he rehearsed appeared. The wealth he felt in imagination materialized. The outer could not resist the inner. The law obeyed the consciousness. The frequencies that had guided him into his inner reality had done their work. This is the unerring principle. Persist in the inner state, regardless of outer evidence, and the outer world must yield. The frequencies serve as both guide and companion. They are gentle reminders of the inner sovereignty that is always yours, the inner reality that cannot be touched by outer circumstances, the realm where all desires are already fulfilled. Let them carry your consciousness deeper into this place of knowing. Allow the sound to synchronize with the rhythm of your breathing, to harmonize with the cadence of your heartbeat, to resonate with every cell of your being. Feel yourself immersed in the reality of having. Feel the satisfaction, the ease, the completeness. Let every thought, every image, every sensation reflect the state of fulfillment. This is the act of faith. This is the rehearsal of reality. This is the unbroken, unwavering occupation of the end. You must understand that faith is not belief in something outside of you. Faith is the full recognition of what already exists within. When you dwell in the state of possession, you are not hoping for manifestation. You are acknowledging an eternal reality that cannot be denied. The frequencies, the sound, are instruments of reinforcement, carrying you into a state where doubt cannot enter, where hesitation cannot penetrate, where only the fullness of the inner vision reigns. This is the power that moves the unseen into form, the law that bends the outer world to the inner, the certainty that impresses the subconscious and compels reality to mirror your assumption. Imagine then yourself moving through life fully immersed in this state. Not seeking, not striving, not waiting. The abundance is yours, the wealth is yours, the treasure is yours. Your imagination has established it, your feeling has claimed it, your assumption has impressed it upon the fertile field of the subconscious, and the law of manifestation moves to complete it in the outer. Each sound, each vibration, each frequency that reaches you in sleep strengthens this reality. You are in the rhythm of fulfillment. You are in the current of possession. You are the conscious director of the unseen, the commander of circumstance, the sovereign of your inner world. The outer world, being obedient, must yield. There is no limit, no restriction, no obstacle that can resist the state you occupy. Doubt is powerless. Lack is powerless. Delay is powerless. The frequencies, the vibrations, the sound waves that awaken your inner awareness are merely instruments, guides, reminders that the law is faithful, that the unseen exists, that the end is already yours. Allow yourself to be carried ever deeper into this inner sanctuary, into the vivid experience of having, into the complete recognition of possession. The outer world may still seem unchanged, yet it is already aligning, it is already responding, it is already reflecting the reality impressed upon the subconscious. The law never fails. The frequencies never lie. Your inner vision is sovereign. and the outer world is its obedient reflection. Persist in this inner dwelling. Let the vividness saturate your senses. Let the feeling of possession fill every moment, every breath, every thought. The frequencies carry you, the imagination guides you, the law obeys you. The coins, the gold, the wealth, the treasures of life, the opportunities, the fulfillment, the joy. These are all already yours in consciousness. As you dwell, as you persist, as you feel, as you know, the outer world becomes the mirror of the inner. The act of faith is complete. The mystical principle unfolds. The unseen is obeyed. The treasures, the abundance, the fulfillment you have imagined are no longer distant, no longer hypothetical, no longer delayed. They are yours now, because the inner state has been fully assumed, fully occupied, fully felt, and fully impressed upon the fertile field of consciousness, where all things begin and where all things must return to you, in exact accordance with the law. Feel now the quiet insistence of the inner world calling you to deeper awareness, to the place where your imagination becomes sovereign, where every vibration of thought and every subtle current of feeling carries the unmistakable authority of creation. The frequencies that reach your mind, the sounds that awaken your sleep, are not merely incidental. They are instruments, conduits of the unseen, guiding your consciousness into alignment with the state of your desire already fulfilled. Allow yourself to be carried into this space where time and outer circumstance hold no power, where all that you seek exists fully, perfectly, and eternally in consciousness. See yourself seated at the table of your inner reality, where abundance is tangible, wealth is palpable, and opportunity flows without effort, without struggle, without delay. Feel the warmth of satisfaction radiate from every fiber of your being, the ease of possession, the joy of certainty. Let the sound, the vibration, the resonance carry you deeper into this state until the inner experience saturates your mind and heart and body with the undeniable, knowing that all is accomplished. The law that governs manifestation is unerring, for it is rooted in consciousness itself. Every desire, every treasure, every opportunity waits only for your recognition, your assumption, your vivid dwelling in the end. To doubt is to resist, to hesitate is to delay, to concern yourself with outer evidence is to surrender your power. But to persist in the inner state, to feel the reality of having, to see the end in living detail, is to command the unseen with the authority of consciousness. The frequencies that stir you in sleep are companions in this endeavor, instruments that awaken the subconscious to the vivid impressions of fulfillment, reinforcing the rhythm of your inner assumption. Every note, every pulse, every subtle vibration strengthens your occupation of the end, impressing the inner world with the certainty that the treasures you desire are yours, and that the law of outer reflection must respond accordingly. Do not confuse persistence with effort. The outer world is not the measure, nor the arbiter, nor the source of fulfillment. Effort belongs to the world of senses, to the realm of waiting, to the illusion of scarcity. Persistence in the inner state is effortless. It requires only the consistent rehearsal of reality in imagination, the vivid feeling of possession, the unshakable recognition of having. Picture the coins in your hand, the gold on the table, the wealth flowing to you naturally. Hear the subtle sounds that confirm it, feel the textures that attest to its reality, smell the fragrance of its presence, taste the completeness of having. Let every sense engage fully in this rehearsal. Let the frequencies guide you, harmonizing your awareness with the inner truth, carrying you ever deeper into the state of certainty. In this state, the subconscious receives without question, without delay, without resistance, and the outer world is compelled to obey. Consider now the power of expectation combined with faith. Expectation is not idle wishing. It is the full recognition of reality within. Faith is not belief in absence. It is the knowing of presence, the acknowledgement of accomplishment. When these two meet within consciousness, they form an unbreakable current that moves the unseen into form. Let the sound, the gentle vibration, awaken this current within you. Feel it resonate through your mind, synchronize with your heartbeat, and infuse every cell with certainty. Let expectation, alive with faith, flood your imagination, saturate your feeling, and establish a rhythm that the outer world cannot resist. As you dwell here, the treasures, the wealth, the abundance, the opportunities you have imagined are already responding to your inner command. The frequencies are the instruments, your imagination is the workshop, your feeling is the message, and the law of manifestation carries the outer world into perfect correspondence. Every image, every sensation, every thought that you allow to occupy your inner world leaves an imprint upon the fertile soil of the subconscious. It is here that manifestation is born. It is here that reality takes shape. It is here that the unseen becomes obedient. Let your dwelling in the end be precise, detailed, alive with feeling, and unshakable. The sound is your companion, carrying you deeper, reinforcing the inner state, reminding you that nothing outside can resist the inner reality you occupy. Imagine yourself moving through life now as one who has already received, who possesses fully, who walks in abundance. Let every breath affirm it, every heartbeat resonate with it, every thought vibrate in harmony with it. This is the operation of the law. This is the power of the unseen made obedient. Do not concern yourself with the mechanics of outer manifestation, with steps, with timing, with means, for these are reflections of the inner state, not the cause. The cause is always within, in the assumption, in the dwelling, in the vivid feeling of fulfillment. Let the sound guide you to this understanding. Feel it penetrate your consciousness, stirring every latent recognition of your sovereignty, your power, your inherent right to abundance. Let it carry you deeper into the awareness that all treasures, all wealth, all fulfillment, all opportunity already exist for you, waiting only for the full acknowledgement of your inner state. Let your imagination move freely, yet with precision, seeing the end in exact detail, feeling it in every fiber, knowing it as the absolute truth of your being. As you allow yourself to dwell here, you will notice the subtle shifting within. The mind relaxes, the heart expands, the body aligns with the inner state. Every vibration, every pulse of sound, every frequency penetrates, reminding you that you are the master of your inner reality, that the law is faithful, and that the outer world must conform. The unseen yields to the authority of consciousness. The treasures, the wealth, the opportunities you desire flow naturally, effortlessly, inevitably, as a mirror to the inner certainty you occupy. You are not creating in the future, you are recognizing what is already real, already accomplished, already yours. This is the ultimate operation of faith and assumption, the law of dwelling in the end, the eternal rhythm of manifestation. Persistence, expectation, and faith must merge into a seamless current. As the frequencies guide you, let them remind you of the unbroken law. Whatever you assume as real, whatever you dwell in with feeling and vividness, must appear. Let your imagination move through the scenes of your fulfilled desire with precision, letting every detail come alive. Feel the coins, hear their subtle clink, smell the richness, taste the completeness, sense the satisfaction. Allow the subconscious to receive these impressions fully, deeply, irrevocably. The outer world, in perfect obedience, must yield. Delay is an illusion. Resistance is powerless. Lack is null. The law functions with absolute fidelity to the inner state, and the sound is your gentle, unwavering companion in this realization. Let this dwelling become habitual, unbroken, immersive. As you feel the wealth, the abundance, the treasure in your hands, as you hear the sounds that confirm it, as you see the vivid images that embody it, you are establishing a rhythm, a current, a law that the outer world cannot resist. The frequencies penetrate your sleep, carrying the message deeper, reinforcing the inner certainty, and impressing upon the fertile subconscious the reality of having. As you awaken, let the inner reality dominate your attention, your consciousness, your thought, your feeling. The outer world must respond, for the inner state has been fully occupied, fully impressed, fully acknowledged. The law is perfect, and you are its sovereign, its master, its recipient. Here, in this inner sanctuary, the frequencies, the sound, the vibration, the rhythm of your imagination and feeling converge. Expectation and faith merge seamlessly. Persistence and dwelling in the end establish a current that flows unbroken through your consciousness. The treasures, the wealth, the abundance, the opportunities you desire respond naturally, inevitably, perfectly. The law operates with absolute fidelity to the inner state, the subconscious receives without question, and the outer world conforms with the precision of a mirror reflecting the unseen. Let every sense, every fiber, every thought, every heartbeat participate in this inner reality. Allow the sound to carry you, to awaken you, to deepen you, to assure you that the treasures you imagine, the wealth you feel, the fulfillment you claim are already yours, and that the outer world cannot resist. Let your awareness now sink even deeper into the hidden sanctuary within, the sacred chamber where all things are already accomplished, where every desire you hold has been quietly, perfectly fulfilled. The frequencies that enter your mind are not mere sound, they are the carriers of consciousness, the subtle waves that awaken recognition, the gentle instruments that lead you into alignment with the state of possession. Allow yourself to be drawn wholly into this inner realm, letting every thought, every sensation, every subtle stir of imagination converge upon the fullness of having. Feel it in your chest, let it pulse through your veins, let it settle in your bones. There is no separation here between you and your desire, for the inner reality and the imagined fulfillment are one. The coins, the notes, the treasures, the wealth, the abundance, the satisfaction, all exist in perfect totality, and the frequencies serve only to remind you, to carry your awareness, to deepen your immersion. The law that governs manifestation is beyond the understanding of the senses. It is not measured by time, it is not limited by space, it is not hindered by the outer appearance of lack. It is a law of consciousness, of feeling, of assumption, of vivid, precise dwelling in the end. Each night, as you lie in the stillness, the sound resonates with your inner state, reinforcing it, synchronizing your imagination with your certainty, deepening your occupation of the fulfilled desire. Allow yourself to see in living color the reality you seek, the coins in your hand, the warmth of comfort, the ease of abundance, the satisfaction of possession. Let every sense participate in this inner rehearsal until the subconscious accepts it as absolute fact, and the outer world, being obedient, must conform. Persistence is effortless here, for the law does not struggle, it responds naturally, inevitably, perfectly. Imagine now the flow of life itself bending to your inner certainty. You move not in hope, not in asking, not in striving, but in the quiet, unshakable knowing that all has been accomplished. The sound, the frequencies, the vibrations that reach you in sleep are your companions, instruments that carry the recognition deeper, that awaken the latent authority of consciousness within you, that dissolve every hint of doubt or hesitation. Let the resonance penetrate every fiber, every thought, every breath, until you are fully immersed in the state of having. The outer world is compelled to reflect this inner reality, for it cannot resist a consciousness that fully occupies the end, a mind that sees, feels, and knows the reality of fulfillment. You do not create in the future, you acknowledge in the present. You are not hoping for manifestation, you are recognizing the eternal fact of it. Every night, let this dwelling become a sacred ritual. Allow the sound to guide you inward, to deepen your visualization, to heighten your feeling of certainty. Let the coins rest in your palm in imagination. Let the texture of notes affirm possession. Let the warmth of abundance flood your being. See yourself moving through life, fully clothed in the state of having, not anticipating, not lacking, not seeking. The law is faithful, the frequencies are instruments, and the inner reality, which is sovereign, must be mirrored in the outer. Every image you hold, every feeling you sustain, every vibration you allow becomes an indelible impression upon the fertile subconscious which governs all outward expression. The outer world cannot resist, it must obey. As the inner reality strengthens, notice the subtle transformation within. The mind relaxes, the heart expands, the body aligns with the state of fulfillment. The frequencies, the sound are no longer simply external. They merge with your awareness, synchronizing your rhythm, amplifying the inner certainty, confirming the reality of possession. This is the mystical law in operation. The unseen is faithful, the subconscious obeys, the outer world conforms. Persistence is effortless when you dwell in the end, when you occupy the inner reality, when you feel the totality of having. Do not be swayed by appearances, for they are but reflections of an outer world that must eventually yield to the inner command. Let every note, every pulse, every vibration carry you further into the sanctuary of certainty until there is no doubt, no hesitation, no questioning, only the unbroken knowing that the treasures, the wealth, the fulfillment you imagine are yours, and that the world outside is powerless to resist. Now let your imagination move freely, yet with precision. Walk through the house of your fulfilled desire. Touch the surfaces, feel the texture of prosperity, hear the subtle sounds of abundance, smell the richness, taste the completeness of possession. Let the frequencies guide you, harmonize with the rhythm of your breath, synchronize with the cadence of your heartbeat, and awaken every latent faculty of recognition within. The subconscious receives these impressions fully, completely, without delay, without resistance. The law obeys with perfection. Every opportunity, every measure of wealth, every manifestation you have rehearsed in your inner world moves toward you, aligning seamlessly with the state you occupy. The sound is not the cause, your inner assumption is. The sound is the guide, the amplifier, the gentle reminder that you are sovereign in consciousness and that the outer world must mirror your inner reality. As this inner state becomes habitual, unbroken, immersive, you are establishing a rhythm, a current, a law that the world cannot resist. The frequencies penetrate the subconscious, carrying the certainty deeper, reinforcing the vividness of your assumption and impressing upon the fertile mind the reality of having. Each night, as you dwell in this state, as the sound resonates within, you are directing the unseen with effortless authority. The coins, the gold, the wealth, the abundance, the opportunities, the treasures of life are already yours in consciousness. The law moves to complete the outer reflection. Nothing can oppose this certainty. Doubt dissolves, hesitation vanishes, lack disappears. The frequencies are your companion, your reminder, your instrument, and your guide into the deeper layers of recognition, where the inner reality and the imagined fulfillment merge into a seamless truth. The mystical conclusion unfolds as you allow yourself to rest fully in this knowing. Feel the treasures of life, the satisfaction, the abundance, the completeness as tangible. Let the frequencies carry you into a meditative rhythm, a cadence that resonates through your being, harmonizing imagination, feeling, and subconscious recognition. Let every cell, every thought, every fiber vibrate with the certainty of possession. The law is faithful, the unseen is obedient, and the outer world cannot resist a consciousness fully occupied in the end. You are not imagining, you are acknowledging. You are not hoping, you are knowing. You are not seeking, you are receiving. Let this truth saturate your being, guide your sleep, and direct your waking moments until the treasures, the wealth, the fulfillment, the abundance you have assumed are fully manifested and reflected in perfect correspondence with your inner state. Allow this dwelling in the end to become a sacred, unbroken rhythm. Let the frequencies continue to carry your awareness, reinforcing the inner state, amplifying the certainty, deepening the occupation of the fulfilled desire. Move through life as one already in possession, letting every thought, every feeling, every act align with the inner reality you occupy. The law obeys your inner state without exception. The subconscious receives, the unseen is faithful, the outer world mirrors perfectly, and you rest in the certainty that all treasures, all wealth, all fulfillment, all abundance, all opportunity are already yours. Each night, each sound, each vibration carries you deeper into this inner sanctuary where the law operates flawlessly, where your sovereignty is complete, and where the fulfillment of every desire is an unshakable, eternal reality.